As strength athlete, we know that hydration is very important, and so we drink water during our training session. But actually, endurance athletes are a bit smarter, as they are using energy drinks which contain anything an endurance athlete needs for proper performance, fatigue management, and also just an overall better experience when you're training. But what if I told you there was such a drink that is comparable for bodybuilders? What if I told you I've been drinking it for years? And what if I told you I've learned this from one of the best legends ever, Steve Reed himself? Drinking water is very important when you're training. It prevents dehydration, it supports the body with its elimination toxin, but actually when you add in some lemon, it will be even better, as lemon contain a lot of calcium and potassium, which are electrolytes, but also some vitamin C. That's why it is much better to drink lemonade on hot summer days than just plain water. There is actually more compounds inside to keep you hydrated than with regular water. And of course, there is sugar. And sugar is not really the best thing to eat, and that's why we are going to replace it with good old raw honey. Raw honey is one of the best food ever, because it contains not only a lot of antioxidant and antibacterial compounds, but it is also filled up with vitamin, micronutrients, and trace elements, which are paramount for us athletes. And also a good heavenly mix of glucose and fructose that will help your muscle stay fresh and fed, and also your liver. Couple that with the lemon, as we said, you obtain a very clean homemade nutrition drink, which is basically a isotonic drink containing electrolyte to prevent dehydration, but also help and assist with muscle contraction and effort, and also carbs that will help you with the effort itself and the caloric demand. Now, my little twist is to add salt, just normal salt. That way you are also helping with the sodium amount, which is a key electrolyte and a key component of muscle contraction, and you will also that way most likely develop a better pump just because you are more into an anabolic shift and in a better state for training. This comes down to Steve Reeves, who basically popularized or invented it more than 80 years ago during his practice as a competitive bodybuilder. His recipe was very simple. It was half a cup of lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of honey, and half a gallon of water. But he wasn't the only one to actually use honey or these kind of drinks. Reg Park himself was a big proponent of honey, and he himself used his own power drink during his competitive years and even after, while he was a businessman and an actor. And he was very adamant of using honey and recommended it a lot. His own power drink, however, was diluted concentrated orange juice, glucose and honey mixed in with for every workout, notably his first early years of training. And he would recommend to anyone for bulking and just general training to add in some spoonful of honey each day and not use white sugar. So this constant is actually something that we can see in many silver era athletes, and many other copied that, and myself did that with great success. So now let me show how I do my own and how I've been using it for years now. First thing first, you're going to fill up whatever bottle you have. I use a thermos, I bought that in Canada. I think it's 1 liter 0.8 water, so basically a half gallon, and I'm going to drink this during my training session. And I use a Berkey filter to have good water, good clean water without any kind of pesticide or, trace things that you do not want inside your body. This one is a family, I think it's a family light model, and it's a full gallon of water, basically little more. Very good, I recommend. I don't have any affiliation, maybe one day, but I know it's good. And this is also what the US Army is using for their military soldier when they are deployed and they need something with the ability to clean their water if they have not access or not any clean water anymore.
A few moments later.
You didn't see anything. Okay. Alright, so now for the honey part. As I told you, you need to put honey for the energy, the very digestible glucose, I mean carbs, you know, with trace and macronutrients inside. And I told you about the quality. It is extremely important because honey is one of those ingredients that maybe before it was kind of easy to get and it was always good quality because, you know, there is honey and then there is not honey, right? Currently there is the ability to have very cheap honey that is not honey. It's actually just some water with sugar, some colorant. Sometimes it's mixed between a few countries, different countries of different region, and then the traceability is extremely hard to get. So I'm currently in France and I am using that one, okay? It's called Reflet France. It's from Midi-Pyrénées region, so basically like the mountain in France. And if you check the ingredient, it is from a kind of small bee culture, and it's just basically the honey and nothing else, nothing at all. If you are in Europe and you need to have good honey, it's not just that you need to ship from France or you need to check French honey. It's not necessarily the best. What you need to check is just raw honey that has not been modified, that has not been coming from every corner of the planet, and that is actually just pure. You know, you need to just have like ingredient and just raw honey, and that's it. Okay, not honey from EU and outside of EU, and maybe not honey that is from that source and this other, you know. And of course I will make a video about honey as a whole, because honey from flowers and honey from certain trees and certain plants is definitely different, but that will be a subject for another time. Just so you know, it needs to be local and it needs to be raw. We're talking about salt. So for salt you have the choice, okay? You either go with Himalayan rock salt, okay, which is really nice, lots of colors, there is a lot of things inside, but the thing is that if you're not sure again about the traceability and the purity, it is possibly holding a lot of heavy metals because it has not been as processed as normal salt that you usually have. So if you know your source and you're 100% sure it's really Himalayan salt from Himalaya, not some cheap copy with a little colored pink inside that is not like good quality, you can go for that. But if you're not sure, table salt, that's enough, because actually what we need inside is the sodium, and if you have some iodine to support the thyroid function, it's as good as well, okay? Just so you know, salt also can be like high quality, low quality, but most of the time, if you're in a first world country, you have access to good salt, so do not stress about it. And as for the lemon juice, I have a little problem. I was sure that I had a lemon left, but I don't. So this will be this type of video again where it's like, oh crap, I don't have everything I wanted to do with video. So I'm actually going to use concentrated juice, which is not the best, it's still not the worst, but normally speaking, you should buy real lemon, okay, just juice them and use the juice for your drink. Now, as for the quantities, quite simple. For upper body session, I go with a teaspoon of that, okay? If it's a creamy honey, 1 teaspoon is more than enough, because you will basically have quite a lot of honey inside. It will equate to about 20 to 30 grams. Now, if it's very liquid honey, you can go to 2. And when I have a lower body or a full body day, I go with twice the dosage. So basically I double it up. I do recommend you to start with basically the same, except if you have any kind of like pre-diabetic or I don't know, like blood sugar level issues. You know, you can start very slow to have your body adapt and see how you react. But normally speaking, having that into your training will make you feel fatigue way slower, have a way better pump, same thing with the salt, and just feel better overall, okay? And also very useful when you're trying to bulk and you can just like chug food always, all the time during your day. So this is part of that, the little cheap code of liquid calories basically. For the salt, a little pinch, and for the lemon juice, double the amount of the honey. And that whole thing will create something that is called an isotonic drink. This means that it is a little lower into concentration of electrolytes than your blood. This means that we will be able to basically hydrate your body way better, and you will not force your body to flush out liquids and substances that are already into your cells. Just like seawater, for example. Seawater dehydrates you because it throws the balance of sodium and potassium so much that all your cells in your body have to excrete a lot of liquid to balance it out, okay? With a isotonic drink, we don't have this problem, and that is why most of the guys that are doing a lot like a long distance running and long distance biking are using this type of drink, and I just showed you how to do your own into your house. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, now it's time to train.